This is a story about an American family who moved here to Mountain Home, Arkansas to start a family business and to pursue the American dream. Well, the state of Arkansas came in and turned that dream into a nightmare.
This is Highway 62 412 in front of my business. It used to be a two-lane highway, and I was flat to the business, to the highway itself. With a flat entry in and out of my shop. I put the shop in here in the spring of 1975 and had 3 and 4 hairdressers that worked with me at one time. And after the highway came up, my people were very frightened and afraid to enter and exit from my salon.
Mike McWilliams, owner of Chuck's Outlet and Moving, talks about his hardship in the wake of Highway 62 412 extension.
My name is Mike McWilliams. I operate the trucks for Chuck's Outlet and Moving, and this is the truck that we cannot park in our place of business. We have actual photographs of the landing gear hitting the concrete curb before our ramp was paved. Later, they paved the ramp. I was out of town on a job when Paul King, who was running the construction, called me and said that it was time for us to get our truck out of there, that we'd never get it back in. I'm told by the people that were there that the belly box drug 2 inches through the gravel, and they had to redo the gravel before they could then blacktop the top.
Longtime customers Margaret and Al Bancroft shared their view on Vi and Steve's situation.
It was really difficult to even get in here to even have your hair done. And I wasn't the only one. There was many people that just quit coming to her business because they could not get down this road because they raised the incline and everything else. Also, another thing I think is the stress that she's gone through. This has been so stressful for her trying to get something solved, and really they got the road finished, yes, but the thing is not solved.
Mike's trucking business and his moving business was that his trucks would bottom out when they were trying to get out of here. He wound up having to park a lot of his U-Haul rental trucks on the other side of the highway where they were working in order for his clients to be able to get them out of here so they could go and load themselves up. And of course, his business was really affected.
Our truck is presently parked on a county road. We also have a place that we actually have to rent. There have also been times that we've played musical chairs between truck stops. We can't park it at home. And this has all been a result of the change to Highway 62 and the steep incline between the highway and our parking lot.
When it rains, the water comes right in through this door and across the floor here. You can see how my inlaid vinyl is all bowing up away from the walls because of the water that came in here. And the fronts of these cabinets have all deteriorated because of the water. I can tell when it's raining, when it gets at the edge of the blacktop is when I put moving blankets around the cement to help keep it out. And I put a moving blanket across here to try to help slow it down from coming in. You can see what kind of a grade we have here. And sometimes the water will get as high as 5, 6, I've seen it up to 7 inches up to the calves of my legs in these buildings. The salon business has really went down to, the hairdressers don't want to work here when they're going to be mopping water and they're not visible to the highway, so you're not going to have your people coming in and out like you normally would. You're not going to have drop-in customers because they can't even see the salon anymore. I've been a hairdresser since 1965, and this has been my life.
We spoke with longtime friend and neighbor Lee Sturdivant, who gives his opinion on how the state of Arkansas has handled this situation.
The Highway Department of the state of Arkansas should correct the problem, and if they made an offer on the property and so forth, those things could all be considered, but they've put somebody out of business. That's not fair.
My husband and I came here in June of 1974. Our dream was to have a small family business and raise our children here. I'm sorry. And I've watched his legacy be destroyed. He put his whole heart and life into this place, never failing to take care of his neighbors and the people around him.
Viola's daughter Shell spoke with us about the impact she feels like the highway has had on her mother and the entire family. Shell, you are the daughter of Viola. Tell us a little bit about, from your perspective as a daughter, what you see your mother going through since the state put Highway 62 in place.
It's been difficult financially and emotionally for her and for the whole family. The business has struggled, and she's seen clients that she had become very close to and attached to not be able to have access to her, and the business financially has declined. A lot of stress, and just for the whole family, not just for her. But this was her dream, and she has seen that deteriorate over a period of years. Mom's 67 at her last birthday in August, and the dream was that she would be able to retire with the businesses. And when her and my father got started in small business, that was their plan, was to have this as a retirement. And of course that's not happening now. She still has to work and still tries to make ends meet. Last November she had shoulder surgery and she had to close the shop completely for a while. And now she's fights arthritis and has stress issues and things like that. So again, for the family, we're just we try to make those ends meet for her and try to relieve some of that stress for her, so we also take on that burden. This has been going on for 7 years now, and the state needs to do something. We need to come to a settlement or resolve of some sort so that she can move forward. And this was their dream, the American dream, and to be able to have a business and have that as part of their retirement and pass that on to their children, and that has not been able to happen for her. So after 7 years and dealing with everything that she's been dealing with, we're just looking for a resolve.
I went to the highway department when they first started with their plans 8 years ago, and all I asked them to do was to move me so I could keep my business going as it was. And they even came on the property and said it wasn't going to work. And this is before the construction ever started. Their engineer said that it wasn't going to work. We wasn't going to be able to get in and out with our trucks and our trailers and the traffic. He stood right here in this very parking lot and said that. And then the highwaymen told me that they were sorry that I should have been the first moved. And they didn't know. They guessed I just fell between the cracks. If it hadn't been for the sacrifice for my children, I could never have kept the place this long. Approximately 7 years ago, the state of Arkansas came in and built a highway 12 feet above my business property and has ruined a good business, a business that I was making a livelihood at, not only for I, but for several employees. And they've done nothing to resolve the problem. We have a drainage problem, accessibility problem, a visibility problem, and I've been told by the state that it cannot be corrected, but yet they've not done anything to help compensate me or to relocate me so that I can continue my business.
And so after 7 years, Vi McWilliams waits for the state of Arkansas to come to some decision on her property problem. I'm Sands Hawkins reporting, Mountain Home, Arkansas.